So for those of you joining us right now on YouTube, I
You
messed
forgot to
up
press
and forgot
the
to press start 3 minutes ago. So you've missed.
Danna went to
that. I just
NYC.
flew
She
in
went
from New
shopping.
York,
She's fancy.
and I'm proud of my kids, and I'm saying why.
And she
Sam
just-
asked a girl to be his girlfriend. I'm proud of him for that because that's stepping outside of your box. And I'm proud of Joey because he wasn't a jerk to Kristin this weekend.
And she's not happy with her husband because he didn't
yeah,
clean
he
the
didn't
house
clean the
while he
house
was
while I
home
was
doing
gone.
everything else.
Now you're caught up. So sorry about that. If you're just joining us, my back is bothering me. I'm proud of my daughter because I got an inside look into what she will, like when she goes away to college, what she will be like on her own.
Navigating,
Yes.
making decisions.
She rocked it. Like when I tell you, like I was like, hey, we're going to go to this store. She put it in her Google Maps and she was like, all right, let's go. And then she yelled at my mom because my mom, we were joking that she should just wear a shirt that says mug me because she literally was like walking slowly, looking all around, like, and in her defense, totally like taking it all in. But she's like, Mom, Grammy's going to get mugged. Grammy's going to get like all of her stuff stolen because she was really not aware of her surroundings as much as Olivia was. And Olivia was like, okay, we're going to make a right on 47th Street. We're going to go up to 5th Avenue. We're going to make a left. Like she was, I mean, this girl had it like better than I did. Like I couldn't get
I
my
feel like
bearings
the girls
for the
could go
first day.
backpacking through Europe.
No, like honest to God, she even said at one point to my mom, she said, well, my mom always told me like that you can't act like you don't know where you're going.
You have to have the confidence.
You have to walk with confidence because that will, make people think that you know what you're doing, whether you know or not. And so she did. I was just so proud of her. Like it was really, really cool to see her just take charge and go. And I even struggled quite a bit, like the first day, like getting my bearings and which way was which. And finally by the last day I got it, but she was on it. I was really impressed with her. So it was a great trip. We had fun. We shopped a lot. It was fun.
That's good. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty city. I've never seen the tree lit in person.
It was very beautiful to see it in person.
I mean, it just looks so pretty on TV.
I will say though, like we went at 6:00 in the morning because we went to the Today Show, and I got to meet Hoda, and I talked to her. Like we actually had a conversation about her pants because I liked her pants, and I was like, "Oh my God, I love your pants. Where are they from?" And she's like, "Oh my gosh, my hairstylist." She told me her name, and she talks about her hairstylist all the time. I can't remember her name now. She's like, "My hairstylist is my good friend. She gave them to me." Like we had a conversation.
That's impressive.
But we went and saw the tree on the way there at like 6 a.m. and it was still dark. So we got to see it lit up. And then last night we went again. But if you want, tip for New York, if you want to see the tree, wake up early and go see it when it's still dark. Do not go in the evening. The crowds were so awful in the evening. Like I
guess I
couldn't
was
even
surprised about
deal.
the stanchions, like all the lines that you'd have to wind through to see the tree.
There is a line for everything. Every store we wanted to go into, like the big stores, we had to wait. We had to wait outside FAO Schwartz for like 20 minutes to go in.
Wow.
Liv wanted to go to the store, Brandy Melville. The line was so long that we just gave up on it. We didn't even wait. The UGG store we wanted to go into, that was like a 10-minute wait. I mean, none of them were awful, but it was 20 degrees, so it was quite chilly. But yeah, we did that. We shopped. We went to the 9/11 Memorial. We went to see Six, which was fantastic. We went and saw the Rockettes. We did all the touristy stuff. It was great. So
You got to eat your
weekend.
diner. Tell us
I
about
did.
that.
Oh, that was so cool. We went to Ellen's Stardust Diner, which is really cool. I'll show you videos later, but it was really cool. If you are familiar, if you're not familiar with it, it's people that work on Broadway, that are actors on Broadway, when they are not currently working, when they're not in a show, they go and they work at Ellen's, and they literally are performing and singing songs the entire time. There's like an MC for the night, and he would announce them and tell what song they were going to sing, and they would go into it, and they were still working while they're singing. Like they're literally ringing in bills, bringing people their checks, taking orders while they are singing songs. It was very cool.
Was the food good?
It was not bad. So in their defense, I'm gluten-free, and it is not a very conducive gluten-free menu, so I got a salad. But, like, Liv got a burger, or no, Liv got a BLT. She said it was awesome. Like, diner food is where it's at, right? So, like, my mom got a burger, said it was so good. So, for me, it's kind of, food is lost on me a lot. So, I don't always get the same as everybody else. But we did go to a great pizza place, Don Antonio's, which was one of the best gluten-free pizzas I've ever had in my life. So
New York pizza.
New York pizza, yeah, it was good.
The Buckeyes won. They're headed to the Rose Bowl. Did you get to watch the game at all?
We did not watch the game. No, we were at dinner during the game, so we did not watch the game.
Sometimes I've been traveling, like when the different games have been going on, you end up places and then you end up seeing a lot of the same fans.
So it was really funny because Ohio State basketball was actually
happening
playing
too. Yeah,
at
Madison Square Garden.
And this was really cool. They were playing UK and University of Kentucky. And when we were waiting for the Today Show, we met a family from Kentucky, not there for the game. They just happened to be there, also from Kentucky. And they were saying how they knew so many people were in town for the game. We were just talking about Ohio State. Not that it's not big on basketball, but it's not nearly as big for basketball as it is for football.
But Madison Square Garden is huge.
That's enormous.
Yeah.
But UK is basketball. Like they thrive on basketball. So they had a lot of fans in town. And we are at the Today Show and we're like standing there talking to this couple. And I noticed that the guy is wearing a UK shirt. And I said to the lady that I was talking to earlier, oh, look, another UK fan. And we look at him and he's about 6'7". So she's like, are you a player? And he's like, no, I'm a coach. So we talked to him. We hung out with him and his wife the whole time at the Today Show. And his wife had brought Hoda an ornament, for a UK ornament. And so we asked the producers if she could give it to her. And they said, no, we can give it to her. Like, you give it to us and we'll give it to her. And so she was like, no, that's okay. Like, I want to give it to her. So about 10 minutes later, the producer comes over to this guy who's a coach and was like, okay, tell your wife to come over. And they like lined her up right there. She got to meet Hoda for like an extended period of time, give her a hug. They took pictures. Like,
oh, nice.
It was really cool. So yeah, Hoda was took the time to talk to people after the show. It was
That's
awesome.
why she's so good at what
she was great.
does.
And she's tinier in person than I realized. She has a heck of a little figure on her. I was impressed. She was great. I'm sad she's leaving.
I know it is sad, but I'm so happy for her.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was a great trip. What did you do all weekend? You had your family Christmas?
We had our family Christmas. We went to my parents. I babysat Joey with Bill on Friday night. Then we woke up. We did normal things. Drove to my parents and my grandma was there. All the siblings, the cousins.
So nice.
It was very fun, wild time. Had a great time. Woke up this morning, moved some sheep, played with baby lambs. All those fun things.
Our mornings were super different.
My mom made breakfast casserole. We ate that. I ate a piece of sugar cream pie for breakfast.
What's sugar cream pie?
Oh, it's like cream and sugar and just mixed together. It's you've never had sugar cream pie?
I wouldn't ask if I had.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. And my mom had made a cheesecake for Bill, so he had a piece of cheesecake for breakfast. And then we drove home. So when we were here, so just back at it.
So my mom and I went. Everyone's like, you have to go to Junior's Cheesecake. So apparently it's like an NYC icon. So
they make it, the Junior Cheesecake at Costco.
It's at Costco.
It is good cheesecake. Today. Yeah. I have it. We got it.
It was okay. It wasn't, I felt like I could make it better. It was a little dry. It was fine, but we got it because I was like, oh, we got to try it. It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. Another thing, like everyone was like, you have to go to Bryant Park to go shopping. We were disappointed with it. So there were some things we were disappointed with, but I don't really like Junior's cheesecake. I said it.
Maybe it was a bad cheesecake.
It just wasn't anything special. It just seemed very commercialized.
Well,
That's it.
I decided this was like the most rude thing I've ever had to do, but I had to repossess my Christmas card from Danna because we didn't get enough Christmas cards, and there's no reordering Christmas cards.
Not at this point in the game.
Even last week, we knew it wasn't going to come with the shipping issues. So I asked Dan if I could have the Christmas card back. So if you didn't get a Christmas card for me, I'm sorry.
Yep. How rude is that? Here's your card, friend. Ships it through the mail to me, even though we live literally around the corner.
I should have hand delivered it.
And then said, oh, when you get that in the mail, can I have it back?
Can I have it back?
So
we had a friend.
Pattersons are not on my Christmas card wall this year.
No, I'm sorry. Yep. Somebody says, oh, she didn't send you one. Be like, oh, she didn't send anyone.
Yeah.
I'm short. Offended. I'm just very short. I'm probably like 30 cards short.
So everyone needs to remember that next year you need to order a lot more.
I do. Remind me.
Mm-hmm. Christmas cards are expensive, by the way.
And so is mailing them. That's
Postage
what we're going to discuss. Our friend and their tradition.
So we have this friend who, I figured it out because he is a teacher at Joey's school. Not Joey's teacher, but apparently he tracked Joey down in his classroom and gave Joey our Christmas card. so that he didn't have to.
But he's done this for
mail it.
years.
I did
They've
not realize
always
that.
appeared on our front porch.
I just kind of forgot, to be honest. Like I never paid attention to it. So yeah, you tell the story because he came into the market.
He just came into the market to hand deliver our Christmas card. And first of all, he asked where our mailbox was, because this is why he's always left it on our front porch. We do not have a mailbox at our house. We have a mailbox at the market.
Before I worked at the market, I struggled with that. I did not.
Yeah. Our mail goes to the market in a separate post, which it could be the same one. It doesn't even matter.
It is silly. But
it's there. So when they deliver the market, they just deliver our home mail too. So we brought it into the market and he's like, where's your mailbox? But so he and his daughter, stamps are expensive. For years, they've just made it a thing and they've delivered all of their Christmas cards that are in the local area. And they drive around and look at Christmas lights and just kind of make it a special dad-daughter event.
Say, even forget about the cost of postage. I adore this. Like I love, yes, they're saving probably $100 in postage, but what a cool thing to do and a great way to spend quality
It is,
time.
but she couldn't do it this year because now she's too busy. So I'm like, oh man.
So now this poor guy's just driving around.
He's just driving around.
Right.
But now he'll have to do it with his wife. They'll have to do it together.
I don't know that I would want to do that with Tom.
It's nice. I like
It'd
spending
be worth
time
the
with my
$100.
husband.
Tom and I went to Costco together today.
Yeah, you picked up the big piece of meat.
We did, but it is funny. You know, we shop once a year together.
We've actually done it twice recently because we went to Target together.
Oh, well, yeah, we stopped at Target. Like it wasn't like.
But he went with you.
Yeah, but he hates going anywhere like that. So when we go to a store together, it's a big deal. So we went to Costco together today. Like we drove to the store together. It's
That's
very
nice.
rare.
He wanted to curtail your spending.
That's what I feel like. But however, normally when we go to Costco, we spend more if he's there. Just because he gets real into stuff. I don't know.
Well, let's talk about this piece of meat that you got. So I think it's kind of something funny. I said I could have stood at the meat counter all day at Costco and I could have had conversations with people about their meat and why they would pick the piece of meat that they did. So there's this guy there. He was kind of talking to himself. I don't know who he was really talking to because nobody was listening. I mean, all these people walk up there and they just kind of like stare at the meat. They just look at it.
That's what we did.
They're like trying to read the labels. And this guy's like prime rib. He's like, I thought all prime rib was prime.
So
he's like, do you
I
guys
did too.
He's like, do you know that prime rib is really just like a rib roast? And he's like, but again, I have no idea who he's talking to. He's just like standing there talking to everybody.
He was educating the
He was.
consumers.
Meanwhile, he grabbed like 5 of them and put them in his cart.
What the heck is he feeding?
I don't know. But so we were waiting because we were waiting for a prime.
What shirt do you have on?
Oh, Santa's favorite. I'm wearing my sweatshirt that says Santa's favorite.
Okay, carry on.
Can't see the favorite, but it says Santa's favorite.
Go on.
So, but I thought this is a good thing to talk about because there are different grades of meat and it's based on fat, marbling, and the grade of the meat, kind of its label. So choice would be lesser expensive. Prime would be a little more expensive.
Which we did not even see prime.
So we waited for prime. Although I had one that was choice that I felt was really good. It just wasn't big enough.
So it's funny because, so we talked about this at Thanksgiving that my mother-in-law is kind of little by little like bequeathing the meals to us. Like she is stepping away from entertaining as much as she has. And so for Christmas Day, she was like, well, you guys can do the meat. So she did that with the asterisks, I would say. It's like there's an asterisk with that. Like you can do it, but you
do X, Y, and Z.
Correct. I need a 7-pound roast. It needs to be boneless. So we go to Costco. We find one that's like 7.8 pounds. It's boneless. I think it looks beautiful. We send a picture to her. Why my husband sent her
that's
a
nice.
picture?
He wants to please his mom.
It's only more so than his wife. Let's be very clear. So he sends the picture. No, it's not good enough because it's too fatty in the middle and just the fat should
If you
be
look at
on
prime
top.
rib, like, because, like prime rib is always like cooked. It's never served like hot. Like,
Right.
It's always,
Well, it rests.
it
It's
rests.
gotta
So you've got
rest.
that big hunk of meat, like fat in the center, and you don't necessarily want that.
Correct. And
fat
so
equals flavor.
It does, but you're also paying for a lot of that fat that you're not going to eat. So like there's a happy medium between the two. And so she was like, no, you want more fat on top than you do in the middle. So she made my husband go back to the butcher at Costco. He had to swap it out because they didn't have any out that well, I think he told her, she called him and he told her, Mom, there aren't any others. She goes, well, then go ask the butcher for it. So he did that.
They also can trim the top too.
They could.
But they're making money off the weight.
Well, and that's just it. Like, you're still paying for that.
Yeah.
So
This is why a good meat cutter is good. So less than 3% of all meat in America is graded prime. It's a very select prime group. So most people are buying choice. There's also select. There's a bunch of different grades.
we
you
totally
can Google
bought
it.
choice. And if you ask me what we're eating, I would be like, we're having prime rib. Because
Yeah, it's
that's
prime
what
rib,
I would
but it's
refer
like a
to
rib
it as.
steak. So the other thing is you can buy it bone in. You can buy it bone in, and then you don't see, like, it's just like kind of a curve, like you
curved,
see the
right.
rib steak and it's curved. And then there's one where they French it, which they cut out the meat in between the rib bones. That's even more expensive because they're handling it more. But
So I
you're not
do think
paying
that
for
they
that meat
had
in between.
those.
They did.
Yes.
They had a beautiful French prime rib roast.
Those were to the left of the ones
It was
that we
a fortune,
purchased.
but man, if I had to feed that many people, I would have totally bought it.
Yeah, they were
She was beautiful.
very large.
Actually, I said she, and like it's probably a he because most meat we eat are steers, so they're males.
Of course you would know this.
Yes, I'm analyzing all the things.
I love it. Yeah, so we ended up going back to the butcher, but we found one that was of her liking. But I do think it's funny that, like, while she has bequeathed this to us, we still have to clear it all with her.
Yeah, but you paid for it,
We did.
so she's really winning here.
She really came
She's
out
got
on
control,
top.
and
We spent
she
the
doesn't have to
$100
pay for it.
right? And to be clear, like, we would never have taken her money for this. Like, we would have much preferred that we would pay for this, and I would never even question it. But yeah, she's telling me what to buy with my money, also. So there's that.
But she's educating you so that
It
you
is
know, and
because
she
then
does
in the
know.
future, and she is a very good cook, so I do trust her judgment with that. So I cannot complain. But it was kind
Just
of
don't overcook the prime rib.
So that's what we're discussing now, is how we're gonna cook.
Tom and I like our method.
So the issue with the method is basically you cook it for a short period of time and then you let it sit in the oven for like 5 hours and you don't touch it. The problem that we have with this is that I do have a double oven, but you're losing an entire oven.
This is why you need a kitchen remodel.
Obvi.
You need 2 full-size ovens.
You hear this?
So Tom can cook his prime rib.
And so my double oven is it's not a full
You have a big
size.
and a small.
Right. Like it looks like it's a regular size range, but instead of having a drawer on the bottom, like a warming drawer, it has a secondary oven, which is amazing.
Yeah,
and
very nice.
I now no longer will ever purchase an oven that is not a double oven, but have to do
I
what
just
my
have
mother-in-law
been
tells
used
me to
to
do.
2 ovens, 2 full-size ovens. And when I had 2 full-size ovens, I could have probably used a third.
But you actually do have access
So we
to
do.
multiple if you needed
it's just
it.
not super
Which, to be
convenient.
honest with you, I could go over there if I really, really needed to. I could use the ovens over there, but I don't want to drive back and forth. You don't have to drive. You're right
We've
there.
done it before for Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and we ended up getting a Wolf like countertop toaster oven, which can fit 2 9x13
So we have a
casseroles.
Breville one, and it won't fit a 9x13, but it will fit a smaller one. So for smaller, we can use it, and we have done that before.
So I'll figure it out, but I think I'm going to use my method.
You're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. It works so well. It's so easy.
And
So
we're going to do like a horseradish sauce on the side, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be good.
I love Christmas. Merry
too.
Christmas, everybody.
I hope everyone has such a wonderful time.
I can't
with
get
their
to
family.
wait to get the report like next week when we hear all like how the kids liked their gifts.
can't
And
wait.
I'm super excited to give our gifts to our kids.
I'm so excited, and I got the kids like some more gifts in New York, so I'm
That's
like
fun.
excited. 'Cause,
It is very fun. I love a surprise. We've got a good surprise. I hope we have lots of surprises for Christmas, but who knows?
Do you think Bill got you something good?
He always does.
I know he's a good gift giver.
Until next time, friends, we're mismatched.